Live. This is Biz to Biz with Joy. Grow your business in style. Leaders leaving legacies. Tonight, oh, it's going to be monumental in so many ways. So I want you to grab a cup of coffee, a cup of tea, a cocktail, and just sit back and relax. I am Joy Ruffin, your style and leadership coach. It's all about personal, professional, and spiritual development. And what are we talking about tonight? Well, we're going to talk about construction. It has a different twist. And that twist is we have a Black woman who is involved in this and has gone way beyond what has been to start a kind of new trend. Not so much new, but new in our arena and the dance that she's doing. And I can't wait for you to meet her. I want you to just sit back and relax and tune in to all of this goodness that she's going to share with us, the good, the bad, and the not so good, because we want you to understand and to know exactly what's going on in the business world today with construction. What can I say? I'm going to bring you up and I'm going to say hello, 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 and welcome. So good to have you here. Belle Jackson, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. And hello, hello. Good evening, everyone.
Oh, indeed, indeed. Listen, Belle, I get excited and I can't help it. It's just my DNA. You are truly the type of woman that I seek. You are an agent of change, you're purpose driven, and you are a female trailblazer because what you're doing in the construction business is monumental. So we want to know, all of us, how did you get into construction? Share with us. And thank you for
Oh,
being here and
wow.
sharing your journey.
Absolutely. Thank you again for having me.
My
Okay,
pleasure.
so this journey began about 8 years ago. My husband was in the underground construction industry, and on the weekends, sometimes I would go out and work with them whenever they were short a person or whatever. And after working outside and being in the being in the clean air, in this feeling the sun, smelling the freshly turned earth, and then getting to use all these new machines, I was just like, okay, this is for me.
Something in that propelled you to say, I want to know more, I want to learn more, and I can do this. Outside of that fresh air and all of those big machines, what other element do you think it was that you said? And then we're going to talk about this later, how you came to do your own thing. But what was it? What was it other than that fresh air and whatever? What was it about construction? Because it is a male, as most things are, dominated business. What made you think Belle Jackson can do this? What gave you that?
Well, that's a really good question. Well, aside from being outside in my element, I didn't see any. I really didn't see any women doing it, and I'm like, all right, well, I'm going to show these guys that women can do what they do, and that's precisely what I started doing.
Oh, Belle, I just love it. I so love what I do in meeting, connecting with men and women, but especially women like you, because you just gave the answer that I wanted to hear, because it's our time. It's our time. We don't need to have any doors closed for us anymore. So, who would be the ideal client that you look for today in your business? And then we're going to talk a little bit about how you got the seed to start your own one stop construction business. But let's talk about now the ideal client that you seek, that you're looking for.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so FBL, knock knock, here I am, as well as Nextera. And I really want to get my feet wet with, anything that has to do with clean energy. That's where I want to go.
Great. I love that. We might as well go here now, Belle, because you see,
Okay.
when I say female trailblazer and agent of change, I'm talking about the seed of what you started here, and it will blossom and grow. A need, you saw this need, and this is what true creativity is all about. You saw a need for one stop shopping where companies' foundational needs could be met. Tell us a little bit about that, how you came to know that this was something that you could mushroom into a business for you and for so many others.
Okay. Well, in the time that I spent working with my ex and our group, I ended up starting a company. After starting the company, I started getting jobs through the same contractors that were hiring us to do jobs. And they were just like, okay, well, can you handle this? Can you handle that? You come work at our offices. And that's what I did. So, thing after thing was thrown at me. And then I asked tons of questions. So, I asked lots of questions, and that opened up a whole new world for me. I mean, I love it. It was just great.
Belle,
Learning more and more.
Belle, you just nailed it for almost any arena and type of work that anybody wants to do. That's why working as a intern or a volunteer, then you discover, you find out, and you ask question after question after question, and then something happens for the individual if it's meant for them. And obviously this was
Yeah.
meant for you. So you weren't shy. There's nothing shy about you. You weren't withdrawn. You said, I want to know. And so you ask. And you're asking these men. And listen, what do we all know? Predominantly, people want you to ask them questions so that they can share with you their knowledge and their wisdom. And that's what they did. I love it. What are the key focuses of this company that you have started? Now, we know it's a one-stop foundational, blah, blah, but share with us a little bit more about that and how you go about doing that for the people that you want to work with.
Okay. Well, the main thing that I'm doing right now is permit expediting, as well as permit running. I also handle pre-construction and final inspections. So if that's ever a need, I'm right here. I also have I also do certifications and recertifications for first aid, CPR, and AED. So these are my main focuses right now. And as I grow, those focuses are going to expand. There will be a lot more things.
Ooh, I love that. I love that because as you grow and as you expand, you expect to and intend to bring others aboard so that you can,
Absolutely.
oh, that's what camaraderie, teamwork, and building a business is all about. Now you gave me something here. I have no shame and I'm not afraid to not know, and I don't have to be right. So I'm asking you this because I don't have a clue about what this means, and I want you to explain it to me and to the audience because if I don't know 99% of the time, they don't know either. What is NABWIC?
Woo!
What does
You
that
just
mean?
got a mouthful, baby. All right. So NABWIC is the National Association of Black Women in Construction, and they are amazing. Okay, when I came into I actually found them just doing a Google search because I wanted to find a group of women who were in construction, who looked like me, who were, probably dealing with the same issues, and someone that I could lean on, and they can lean on me, and NABWIC was that everything for me, and they are an amazing group.
Well, this is so
Or
good.
I'm sorry, we are an amazing
I love that correction. I love that correction. Let me say, Belle, that I suppose we know and we don't know because as soon as you start to say National Association of Black Women in Construction, it
That's
makes
right.
sense. And we all need to join a group, an association that's aligned with what our heart's desire is all about. So that's what you did. So you are one who did your research, did your exploring, what you needed to do, and then found this group of women who support you in what you're doing. Now,
Yes.
because I don't know, is it a large organization? Is it a rather new
Yes.
organization? Has it been about for a while? Share.
Yes, it has been around for quite a while, and it is a large organization, and it is still growing. So we are still accepting members, and I should also let you guys know you're also invited to the party. So don't feel like just because it's National Association of Black Women in Construction that you're not invited. Yeah.
Belle, you know what? I'm celebrating you. I'm praising and applauding and commending you. You know why? Because of what you just said. Biz to Biz is made for men and women. Even though
Mhm.
predominantly I advocate, champion, and empower women, I'm all about equality. It
Mm,
hasn't been thus far for us in so many ways, but it's coming about. And you know who's bringing it about? We are heart
that's right.
centered women who are soul oriented, who are about sharing what they have. So when you said it's not about leaving the men out, I celebrate and applaud you for that. No, we're not leaving men out.
Mhm.
I don't think many of them intentionally left us out, but they did. But then many are embracing and bringing us in too. I love it, love it, love it. What advice, because this is really powerful what you're doing. And even though it's been about for a while, this association and what you're doing in the construction business, it's still rather new. What
Yeah.
advice would you give to people just like you who are starting out a company such as yours?
Mm, okay. So something that was major for me and something that frightened me almost into submission and not do, just stopping
Yes.
is this. When you start getting up here and saying, I think I can't, maybe I shouldn't, call a friend, call me. Let's talk about it. Do not stop. Keep going. Keep your eye on the goal and baby, go for it.
Powerful, so powerful. And you know what, Belle? We all need to hear that no matter how strong and confident we are about what we're doing. Every now and then something happens, and it's good to have those near and around us who will always be there supporting and
Yeah.
giving you the truth and the realness of whatever it is. So I applaud you for that. But let me say, do you find it at this time? And this might not be, well, I'm not going to qualify. Do you find it difficult, or is it a more of a strenuous type of work that you do finding women, especially to work with you in this field that's still rather new? How do you qualify and bring women to you, and how do you vet them to be in the business that you're in?
Okay, well, that's actually a really good question. At this point in time, I am working solo, but in the coming months, I am going to start bringing young women. Well, not just young women. I'm going to say women and men in to train under me, learn what I've learned. If they have knowledge, they can share it as well, and yeah, we pretty much go from there.
Yeah. Well, I think that
Well,
vetting.
I should also say that NABWIC does have uh, of course, I'm going to have a brain fart.
It
NABWIC does
happens. It
have
happens.
training courses,
Yes.
training and courses for people that are just coming into the construction industry and that are, looking to further their educations.
Ah, because there's so much out here, Belle, that so many women have been, I don't like the word denied, just have not gone for it like you have gone to get into the business that you found that you had a natural inclination towards for numerous reasons. So we're not going to go there. But you mentioned something in the beginning, and I want you to speak a little bit about that
Right.
FDL. I think we all know what that is, but break it down because I never assume anything anymore, Belle. I've been doing this a little bit too long, so I don't assume because there's always somebody who arrives and says, what does that FDL stand for? Because they don't know. Maybe they just moved here. Maybe they came from another, blah, blah. It could be anything. But you said you wanted to do a shout out to FDL. Now, what did you mean by that?
I'm sorry, FDL?
FDL, F as in Frank, D as in David, L. Didn't you start off by saying something like that? I thought you did. I thought that's what I heard.
No.
Well, well, I thought you did the Florida division of something, but I guess not. But you mentioned something in your bio to me about wanting to work for a certain company. Or
Oh, that would have been, I think that that would have been FPL, Florida Power and Light.
FDL. I was close. Thank you. You
Oh,
said
quite all
you
right.
no, no, I just love this. You said you had a brain fart. Well, I had a brain misconstrue numbers and letters because I heard F something, but it was FP as in Paul L. So that's
Yes.
what I want you to tell because I thought it was FD. I'm saying maybe the Florida Division of Labor. You know, but now tell us a little bit about FPL. I love this stuff.
Oh, okay. So, in the time that I've been working in the underground construction industry, FPL has always been a constant. Like well, from permitting all the way to doing the installing conduit, so forth and so on. I know quite a few people there, and I love FPL, and I want to be a part of that family.
Ah, now you're talking. You know why? Here's what I know. I have my knowing, and I don't run from it anymore. I used to. This is what I know. No matter what we're doing in life, in business, anything at all, it involves family, relationships, and community. I say this over and over and over again because what you just spoke to speaks to that. You want to be part of this FPL family because that
Yes.
gives you something, means something to you. And why is that? Is this, tell us a little bit more about FPL. Just share with us a little bit more about it. I mean, I heard you say loud and clear you want to be a part of their family. And most good community businesses are family oriented, relationship oriented, has to be successful. So what is it there that's calling your name, so to speak?
Well, I'm going to say a good 98% of the FPL representatives that I've had dealings with in the past have always been awesome people and have always told me, what an awesome company FPL is to work for. And I want a piece of that pie.
I like that. Of course you do. And so you
Yeah.
will have and ought to have. They will choose you and will be making a wise decision in doing so. I'm going to take a quick little break here. Don't go
Okay.
anywhere. Sit tight. I'm just going to speak to the audience and give out some notes, and I'll be back with you in just a second. Hang tight. Don't go anywhere. Ooh, yippee. Ah, you know what Belle just spoke about? She is a female trailblazer. And this association that she belongs to, all well and good. We all need groups, associations that we belong to as such, contingent upon what we're doing. And if you're out there tuning in and you have an interest and you want to know more about the construction business, especially as it relates to women and this one stop shopping business that she has started, which is where companies' foundational needs can be met, then you need to contact her. And for anything else, because she's an explorer, definitely a female trailblazer and somebody that you ought to connect with. Let me also say to you, put in the comments the word biz, B-I-Z, and you will be delivered a free complimentary booklet giving you lots of tools and tips. This Biz to Biz with Joy, grow your business in style. Leaders leaving legacies, and the legacy is now. It's right here and now. Yes, when you're gone, but you're living it now. So be mindful. And I say that to say that this show, this broadcast was put together because of the pandemic and it will continue. And it is for men and women because initially I started out with leading ladies leaving legacies for women only. And then I had men asking me, and I decided that, you know what? Men and women, we need to get closer to what equality is really all about. And business is business, and people through the pandemic were hurting. So I'm inviting you in. If you have a business and you want to be about sharing your information and your message out to others, then this is where you need to be. And I'm happy to promote you in many, many ways to spotlight and showcase what you're about. So put in biz, B-I-Z, and I hope to see you here soon. Now, Belle, what you're doing is fun. It's beyond fantastic in so many ways. And I celebrate you because I know how hard it is for women to excel in a business that's male oriented. So now this is something that most people might not want to talk about, but I know you're not knowing you. What has been the most difficult obstacle that you've had to overcome in this business thus far?
Hmm. Well, getting a seat at the table.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Um, I hate that it is the way it is, but this, that pretty skin tone sometimes, makes people, what's
Yes.
the word I want to use so that I'm politically correct?
No. You know what I've said lately, Belle? I've said, and I don't use foul language. I don't curse. I don't use potty language. I don't, if those people, if there are people who want, the they people, if they want to use it, fine, but it's not necessary. So I
No.
know what you want to say, but I've said to heck with politically correct. Say what you want to say. And that's what I started to do. But sometimes I spell out the word. I'll say, there's no S-H-I-T. It's not to be believed. But I don't pronounce the word. So what is it good, bad? Well, I think it's a little bit more tasteful. I have this sense of aesthetics. It can't help it. But when you say politically correct, I know because you don't ever want to close the door. This I learned the hard way.
Yeah.
Yeah. As a young girl, I was such a little smart ASS, and I just thought, the world was mine. And I walked through the door, and boom, I did the worst thing to harm myself, but I didn't know it at the time. So now I know better. I don't ever close a door. I might leave a little crack there so I can get back in. You never know, right? You never know. So whatever you wanted to say, I think we don't want to put blame. There's no blame. Women are, we're not where we need to be. And most of us have reasons and we know why, but we don't want to just lay the blame here. There's so many reasons for it. So when you said you want a seat at the table, I get that. What is it going to take to get you to get that seat at the table?
Exactly what I'm doing right now.
Good.
Speaking and saying, hey, I'm here, I'm experienced, I'm set up, I'm ready to roll. Let's go.
Yes. Okay. You nailed it again, because we all have to learn to speak our voice, our message, and do it. The word you use, politically correct, but just do it with grace, which is meaning you're mindful of your language, because you don't really want to. You never know, that person who's sitting at the head of that table might really have a thing for people of color or people who are foreign or whatever. And you want to be very mindful about your approach. So I get that. I get that. Tell me what you really love most of all about the work that you're doing now. I know it's an embryo. I know it's new. I know you're starting. But again, I'm just saying bravo to you. But what is it that maybe, no, let me back up. What is it that really lights you up now and will light you up more so as you move forward in the work that you're doing?
Well, my absolute favorite part of doing this business is meeting people. I love meeting people, new people, having conversations, getting into their world, finding out what they're like, so forth and so on. The paperwork and all that, that's great. That's fun. But getting out there, meeting people, being able to, travel, see new areas, learn new, cities, surrounding cities and areas, that's something that really, drew me to wanting to continue or wanting to start my permitting company and do the pre-cons, the final inspections, the first aid, CPR, AED. I love people.
Well, you know what? Here's an expression that you hear a lot of people who are really people oriented and enjoy having dialogue and listening more so than this. We're doing this, but a good listener. And so I understand and I get what you're saying. And I have a question for you, because I hear it and I feel it. You started this one-stop foundational needs met for different companies. To date, I know it's an embryo, more or less. What have you found this one-stop foundational? What is the number one area that you find you're called to more than others, that their needs are? What would that be?
Permitting. A lot of people, because of the pandemic, are home. So they're doing home improvements. And they want, someone to get their permits in, done, and ready to go so that they can build that wall or, tear down whatever or put a fence up because their neighbors are weird or or what have you.
So let me ask you then, because I'm a novice and sometimes that's good for something like this. And I'm asking for a reason. So does that mean, I heard what you said about you love meeting and connecting and dialoguing and exchanging with people, building relationships.
Yeah.
So my question as a novice would be this to you, Belle. Are you making every opportunity available to you to connect with every contractor that you know of so that you go and get the permits for them to save them time? Or are you doing it on your own, or a combination of both?
Right now I'm doing that mostly through networking. So networking online. And then when I find something, that's local, that's happening, I'll go to the networking events.
So you mentioned the National Association for Black Women Construction Workers. What about the Association for Men? Are you able to join in with them so that you can get a dialogue and a relationship going where you can do collaborations? Is that a possibility down the road?
Yes, absolutely.
I would hope so. I would hope
Yes,
so.
I'm actually speaking with someone who's out of state right now about some work up north. And well, I just have to wait. I'm waiting. That's all. I'm just waiting.
Well, sometimes we do have to wait, and waiting is not easy for the majority of us, but yet there comes a time when there is a period when we wait, because if we put all the tools and the application and the work has been done, then if it's
Mhm.
going to mushroom, it will. So that I get. When you talk about first aid and CPR and AED and all of that certification, you have so much working for you, going for you here. Do you find that it's easier to, oh, this is not a good question. I'm going to back up a little bit before I ask you this. Is it is it easy when, easy is not the right word, your dialogue with men who are in construction, do you find that your persona, your personality has to change, or are you being authentically you? Now that's
Oh
a loaded.
boy, I'm me 100% all day, every day. So the same thing you're getting right now is the same thing the guys are gonna get, depending on how nice they are.
Well, yeah. Good, 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 good.
Yeah, I do have to, I do have to turn it up just a notch every now and again, because I'm a woman and I'm an attractive woman and I might be walking onto a job site and guys are like, hey, so I may have to turn up the fire just a little bit, just to let them know, hey, I'm not the one.
You know what? That's what I'm glad you addressed that question, which was, well, it's not about fair or unfair, but I really wanted to hear that, because how many of us as women have gone by those construction sites and you've heard those wolf whistles?
Mm-hmm.
And if you're into your true confidence and femininity and sexuality, sensuality, it doesn't light you up. So I'm just wondering, as a female, how that works. And yet I knew the answer, but I love the way you addressed it, because that has to be very, very prevalent. And there has to be a stance or a persona, a confidence in you that lets men see, I have the highest regard and respect for her, but I'm going to hold off my wolf whistle. He's not going to like that at all. And I get that. Belle, I have to tell you that, again, the work that you're doing and what you're doing, because I know what it is to get into any industry. I entered the insurance industry many, many moons ago when very few women were in it, and forget about Black women. So I get a teeny tiny bit of what it must be like, somewhat, just a teeny tot. But let me ask you this: what do you want to leave us with? What do you want to share with us? What pearls of wisdom, what kind of stepping stones, what do you want to impact us with, that they walk away, those who are here now and those who will come later, and later will be the replay and the majority will come then. What do you want them to take away from Belle Jackson and the work that you're doing in the construction industry business? The stage is yours.
Okay. So, well, as I mentioned before, whatever you're doing, go in 100%. And when you start getting up here, you do this. You make a phone call, or do something to get out of your head and refocus your energy on what it is that you want. The last thing that I want to leave you with, and I appreciate every single one of you tuning in and listening to what it is that I have to say and joy, is that, and I just wrote this down, so bear with me.
Good, good, go.
If you cannot find a good space to be, then create it. Create your own space, and that'll be yours and yours alone. And that's it. That's what I have for you.
Wow. Thank you. A great ending. Because you know why, Belle? And I'm not brown nosing you. You know me, not knowing me, but you know that I'm not doing this. When I say to you, your ending is spot on, because it's simply our time, meaning time for women. And
Yeah.
we are to stand in our greatness and our power and our confidence, all one and the same, and to share our wisdom and our learning and our knowing with others. And if it's not there for us, to create it. So thank you for that. I get it. And so will
Absolutely.
those who are out here in the audience. I'm going to put you in the green room, but don't go anywhere. I'll be with you in just a second. And thank you. I loved your ending. Create it. And I think that's what many of us have to do. Thank you. Thank you. I'll be back with you in a second. Thank you. Oh, What an ending. Create your own. And if it's something that someone else is doing, still create your own. Make it yours, is what Belle is sharing with us. And that is so major. That is so important. Thank you for being here. Oh my goodness. Do I love meeting these dynamic, absolutely powerful women who are innovative and visions of change and all that other good stuff. Yes, I do. And so do you. Be and stay well. Wear the mask if you still have to. And make sure that you follow the links here to join and connect with Belle so that you can make sure that you are aligned with her. And join my group, Leading Ladies, Leaving Legacies. And I can't wait to see you soon. Like, how about tomorrow night? Until then, if you have to wear the mask again, wear it, because we all want to be safe so that we can do the work that we're here to do. Thank you for being here. Sending you always all the best. Soon, until we connect. So long for now. Cheers.